The SEC requires that public companies include hyperlinks to exhibits that are included with SEC-filed reports. This applies to annual reports on Form 10-K and Form 20-F, as well as quarterly reports on Form 10-Q. This requirement also applies to current reports on Form 8-K, as well as a host of other SEC filings. The SEC's rules regarding disclosures by public companies were adopted more than 80 years ago. Now, at that point in time, they couldn't have thought about modern technology like the internet. Instead, the presumption was that most communications between companies and investors would take place through paper documents that were physically mailed by companies to their investors. Things have changed dramatically since then. With the advent of modern communications technology, you've got the internet, social media, and the widespread use of emails for communications between companies and their investors. In March 2017, the SEC finalized rules that will require that public companies include with any SEC-filed document a hyperlink to any exhibits to those documents. This requirement applies to any electronically filed documents that are currently being filed, as well as electronically filed exhibits that were previously filed with the SEC. This requirement does not apply, however, to paper documents that have been previously filed with the SEC. So what do these new requirements mean? In practice, what that means is that for most companies, it's adding an additional step to the filing process for their SEC filings. What is that step? Going through every exhibit in the exhibit index, looking back to make sure that it links back to a previously filed version of that exhibit, and testing the hyperlink before you file it to make sure that it actually works. So from a regulatory perspective, this rulemaking is the first step in a series of steps by the SEC in examining its rules to figure out how those rules can be enhanced to embrace modern technology.
To learn more about Wolters Kluwer Solutions, call us at the number below or go to our website.